What's interesting is if you get sun without sunburn, you can decrease your risk of getting cancer.
Meet Dr. Eric Berg, aka the Knowledge Doc. He's a chiropractor and health educator who's made keto, intermittent fasting, and weight loss easy to understand for millions. With 13 plus million YouTube subscribers and best-selling books under his belt, Dr. Berg delivers straight, no-fluff health advice that actually sticks. And today, he's helping us crack one of the biggest health mysteries we all wonder about. Is the sun our ally, or is it secretly out to get us? What if I told you that avoiding the sun might be just as dangerous as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day? Sounds crazy, right? But the research is clear. Staying out of the sun might be putting your health at serious risk. Today, we're going to be challenging everything you thought you knew. We're diving deep into the truth about sunlight, vitamin D, skin cancer, and why everything you thought you knew about sun exposure might be wrong. In this video, we'll unpack the misunderstood relationship between sunlight and your health. You'll learn why vitamin D is so critical, the surprising history of sunlight in medicine, and how avoiding the sun could actually increase your risk of cancer, autoimmune disease, and even heart disease. So if you've ever been told to stay out of the sun, you'll want to stick around for this one. For decades, we've been told that sun exposure is dangerous and that sunscreen is our only solution. And while it's true that sunburn is dangerous, what about the flip side? Research indicates that sun exposure does contribute to a disease burden estimated at 1.6 million disability-adjusted life years annually, representing only a very small percentage of the total global disease burden, according to the 2008 research. In contrast, if there is too little sun exposure, the global health impact would be way worse, leading to a potential loss of 3.3 billion healthy life years each year. That's over 2,000 times worse than the burden caused by too much sun exposure. So why aren't we talking about this? Most studies focus on the sun's role in causing skin cancer. However, research shows that people with more sunlight exposure tend to have lower rates of various other diseases. While vitamin D has been a focal point, supplementation alone hasn't replicated the full spectrum of benefits associated with sun exposure. So what's really going on? Sunlight could be helping us in other powerful ways, like triggering nitric oxide release from the skin, which may boost heart health, or directly influencing our body through the blood by increasing blood flow and lowering blood pressure. Vitamin D is a hormone-like substance produced when our skin is exposed to sunlight. It's responsible for regulating over 2,000 genes and is essential for a properly functioning immune system. Vitamin D is definitely a lifesaver. It's been linked to a lower risk of multiple different cancers, autoimmune diseases, and cardiovascular issues. But unfortunately, you can't get enough of it from diet alone. The National Institute of Health recommends 600 to 800 international units per day, but many doctors, such as Dr. Berg, actually recommend a lot more, in certain cases, even 10,000 IUs. That is because the 600 to 800 recommendation was set up when information about vitamin D was yet very limited. This amount is the bare bones requirement to combat something like osteoporosis, and vitamin D toxicity is extremely rare, needing months of thousands of international units per day to create it. One of its major complications is kidney stones, which can be mitigated by drinking about 2.5 liters of water a day. Can you get vitamin D from fatty fish, egg yolks, organ meats? Sure, they help, but they only provide 5 to 10% of what your body needs depending on how much you eat. The rest, a whopping 90 to 95%, comes from sun exposure. Sunlight exposure stimulates the production of melanin within skin cells, the pigment that gives skin its color. Particularly by melanocytes, the cells responsible for producing melanin. Melanin acts as a natural sunscreen and antioxidant, absorbing harmful UV radiation and helping to protect cellular components, including DNA, from damage. By reducing UV-induced oxidative stress, melanin helps preserve the integrity of various cellular structures, supporting overall cellular health. Moreover, exposure to morning sunlight helps regulate the body's circadian rhythm by suppressing the sleep hormone melatonin's production during the day. thereby promoting alertness. As daylight wanes, melatonin levels naturally rise, facilitating sleep. When it comes to cancer prevention, especially melanoma, the most dangerous type of skin cancer, moderate sun exposure without sunburn might be your best defense. Vitamin D, along with subcellular melatonin, plays an essential role in protecting the body, including its immune system and the skin, from potential harm. But sunburn, on the other hand, is a huge risk factor for melanoma, doubling your chances of developing skin cancer later in life. Note, however, that skin type matters. Fair-skinned people have a higher melanoma risk and need less sun to make vitamin D. Darker-skinned individuals need more sunlight but are less prone to sunburn and skin cancer. Also, latitude and season affect ultraviolet B intensity, the type of ultraviolet radiation from the sun that is primarily responsible for stimulating the production of vitamin D in the skin, and which also plays a major role in causing sunburn and can damage DNA. In many places, sunlight isn't strong enough for vitamin D synthesis in winter months. So how do we harness the power of the sun without hurting ourselves? Let's take a closer look at how to do this the right way. Contrary to popular belief, moderate sun exposure, where you don't burn, can actually reduce your risk of skin cancer, including melanoma. Studies have shown that outdoor workers who receive more sun exposure than indoor workers have a lower incidence of melanoma. The key difference? They usually don't burn. Getting sunburned isn't just uncomfortable. It causes inflammation and cellular damage that may contribute to cancer development. Dr. Berg explains that repeated sunburns can create an inflammatory environment where cancer is more likely to develop. Always respect your skin's limits and avoid burning at all costs. Here's something wild. 75% of melanomas appear on areas of the body that don't usually get sun exposure. If sun exposure were the main culprit, wouldn't we see melanomas mostly on the face, the arms, and legs? Vitamin D is just the beginning. Sunlight influences nearly every system in your body, and the benefits go far beyond what most people realize. Ever wonder why you feel better on sunny days? That's serotonin at work, a powerful mood-stabilizing chemical in your brain. Sunlight stimulates serotonin production in both the skin and eyes, which can lift your mood and even fight symptoms of depression. This is why many people experience seasonal depression during the darker months. Sunlight in the morning reduces melatonin levels, your body's natural sleep hormone. This helps you feel more awake and alert during the day and also resets your circadian rhythm so you can sleep better at night. UV rays from the sun trigger vitamin D synthesis, but that's not the whole story. Sunlight also boosts the production of subcellular melatonin and enhances ATP production in the mitochondria, helping your immune cells function more efficiently and making you more resilient to infections. UV light has antibacterial properties, even through glass. It can inhibit the growth of pathogens responsible for diseases like tetanus, typhoid, tuberculosis, and staph infections. These effects are independent of vitamin D, showing that the sun supports your body in multiple ways. Infrared light from the sun penetrates deep into your tissues. This type of light is used in infrared therapy for wound healing and pain relief. The sun does it naturally, helping with inflammation, injuries, and recovery. With so many benefits, the goal isn't to avoid the sun, but to use it wisely. Here's how to maximize benefits while minimizing risk. The first 10 to 30 minutes of sun exposure in the morning are ideal. Your body absorbs the most vitamin D in these early hours, and your circadian rhythm benefits from the natural light. Avoiding sunburn is key, so if you have sensitive skin, make sure to cover up after a short burst of sun. Aim for about 10 to 30 minutes of sun exposure daily, depending on your skin tone and where you live. The more pale you are, the shorter the exposure needed. Darker skin types may need a bit more time to absorb enough vitamin D. You don't have to go overboard. Moderate exposure, where your skin gets some color but you don't burn, is what you're after. This will also trigger subcellular melatonin, providing cellular protection and potentially reducing your cancer risk. Here's a crucial tip. Sunburn is harmful and is linked to an increased risk of melanoma. The inflammation caused by burns may override any protective benefits from vitamin D or melatonin. Always be cautious and stop exposure before you burn. A high-sugar diet can worsen the effects of sun exposure by promoting oxidative stress. On the flip side, a diet rich in antioxidants, think berries, leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, helps protect your skin from damage. Give your body the tools it needs to handle sunlight properly. Lighter skin needs less sun to produce vitamin D, while darker skin requires more exposure. Pay attention to how your skin reacts and start slow. About 10 to 30 minutes of sun on your arms and legs a few times a week is a good starting point. Adjust based on your skin tone, geography, and season. Not all sunscreens are created equal. Some chemical-based products contain ingredients that can be absorbed into the bloodstream and may have carcinogenic potential. On top of that, they block vitamin D production. If you need protection, look for mineral-based sunscreens like zinc oxide, which sit on top of the skin and don't disrupt your vitamin D synthesis. Don't overdo it unless you plan on being in the sun for long periods. The sun isn't your enemy. Like anything powerful, it needs to be handled with care. Avoid midday burning, yes, but don't live your life in fear of sunshine. Your body evolved to thrive with it. Sun exposure through your eyes, even indirect light, plays a significant role in regulating melatonin production. Try taking a short walk outside without sunglasses to help regulate your circadian rhythm and improve sleep. Sunlight isn't just a source of vitamin D, it's a biological necessity. From mood to immunity, wound healing to cancer prevention, its benefits are undeniable. So here's your challenge. Get outside, safely, and soak up a little sun. Just don't get burned. If this video helped shift your perspective, hit that like button, share it with a friend who's been hiding from the sun, and subscribe for more deep dives into the science of well-being. Until next time, stay healthy, stay strong, and don't forget to step into the light.